everyone, this is Scott Stengel from the Melco Applications team. I'm here today to spend a little time talking with you about pretty much everything thread color wise and chart wise in DesignShop 11. First, there is help, of course, as always in the manual. Currently page 58 to 61, however, it's going to change as time goes on and we make different changes to the manual. If you search color charts or thread palettes, you're going to end up here in the manual. Has all kinds of details of each feature and how to use it, what's allowed, all that kind of stuff. Also notice that whenever you see one of these icons in the manual as you're going through it, that indicates that you can click on it and it'll link you to a video with more help. In this case, Nate did a whole series of educational videos on how to use DesignShop 11. This would take you to the color section of the instruction, everything that has to do with colors. So more help here. Make sure that you have a look at this. Okay, so first let's go over the mini palette toolbar. That's right over here. This is where you select colors. This is where you can change your defaults and all sorts of stuff like that. So what are the different parts of it? Right here is your current color. That's the color that you're digitizing in, or if you're running letters, that's the color that they're going to show up in. Right next to it is the background color. We use gray, a nice easy color on the eyes now. But you can change it to your garment color, black shirts, royal, whatever you have there, as well as you can even put fabric backgrounds in there like denim, so you can see in 3D more what it might look like when it's finished. All right, then below that is the active colors. This is all the colors that are in the design. In this case I have one because it's a one color design, but you would see all your colors that make up the design that's displayed on screen are going to show up in the active colors over here. And then below it, of course, are all your different color wells for your thread colors that you have to pick from. All right, so first of all, we'll cover changing your default thread chart. Everything in DesignShop is based on Madeira. Great people, great thread. We're partners with them. But we understand everybody might use different types of threads, and so we give you the ability to change the defaults to what you use in your operation. Okay, first of all, there are two different thread charts defaults in DesignShop. So one of them, if I would right-click on a color here, or any way I can get to object properties, there's a color tab. This is your default color chart. So it's currently Madeira Poly Neon. Let's make a scenario up that all I use is auto brand thread. Okay, so pretty simple. I just do the drop down, I find auto, and I save as default. Now, whenever I start a new window, new design, whatever, and I right click and get to the color properties, auto is going to be the default thread chart. So that's how to change your thread chart. There's also a separate thread chart for the defaults of the thread palette. Usually we want to change them both, right? So to change this, I would just right click on any one of the colors, color wells in the palette, and up comes the color properties, and you can see that here is the color chart for that. So in this case I would want to change it to auto also. I could hit apply, or save as default and apply, and then the auto would be my default color chart. The problem is all the colors in the well are still Madeira Poly Neon. So one more step that I want to do once I select a different thread chart than the default is click on Match Chart. When I click apply, you can see some of them changed a little bit because everything isn't the same from thread manufacturer to thread manufacturer, but it matched the closest color that we had selected from Madeira to, in this case, auto. All right, so now you can see whenever I would mouse over any color, auto comes up. All right, so that's how to change your default thread chart, as well as how to change your default thread chart in the mini tool palette. Okay. Also, the next thing that you probably would want to do is customize the thread wells to indicate what you own, right? So pretty simple here. I just would right click on any one of them. The way that this goes, you see they're numbered and they go 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way down, then the next row, then the next row. We show 42 of them, but there is actually 150 colors in this chart. The more you increase the numbers, you'll see those past 42, and you can select from them. Okay, so I can also, like I said, customize this for the colors that I own. I can do this by number if I know what they are, pick them from the list, whatever I want to do. So let's just say that I want to further customize this, and I know that I want the first color to be right here. So I would apply it, and it shows up right here now instead of the black that used to exist. Then I would go to number 2, 3, 4, all that if I wanted to make my own unique customized thread palette. Or I can do it all from in here. Rather than get out and keep going back into properties, this has numbers. So now I can go to number 2, which is going to control the second one down. I can pick a certain color that I have in stock from here, apply it. Now you can see it showed up over there. All right, and so on and so forth to customize the thread palette to exactly what I want, what I own, anything like that. It also doesn't have to be one brand. It can be several brands. Maybe you have some rayon, some poly, different manufacturers. You can just pick a different chart and you color from there, and so the individual wells can be made up of different thread charts if that's what you choose. Okay, so the other thing that I can do is save. Instead of just defaults, I can save default thread palettes for my operation. I like to, say, have one palette that's got winter colors, another for summer. Maybe I do different digitizing for different customers that have different brands of thread. There's a whole host of options here that you can take advantage of. All right, so after I would get this thread palette set exactly like I wanted, I could save as default, right? But let's say that I want to make a second one. So I would go save as custom. Here, I would just give it a name, and I have a choice to save a custom palette or a custom thread chart. They're both done the same way through the color wells. So I could call this I don't know, my auto defaults. And I would save it as a palette. Okay, so now start a new window, do whatever, 3 weeks from now. All I need to do is right click, then I can come in here and I can load the custom palette. I have my default. I also have my auto defaults that I just saved. And I did another one just to show you Scott's safety colors. So as I pick that and then apply it, you can see that I changed the first 5 or so to fluorescent colors, whatever. I have a customer that does fluorescent garments, and I always do fluorescent thread, something like that. So this gives you a ton of flexibility because you can have as many custom palettes as you want. Also in here, you can save your own custom thread chart, right? So just like I can change brands of thread by picking the drop down and picking a different brand of thread, set the color, this can be made up of all different thread charts. If I had 5 different types of thread that I use, I can put the actual colors that I have in the chart there and use them like that. Okay. So where do these get stored? Oh, one thing too. So I can pick different brands of thread or whatever I want, and then as I save as custom, I would save them as a color chart. So this could be, you know, my unique color chart or whatever I wanted to call it. So you can either save it as the palette or as the color chart, and then it's easier to colorize designs when you get them in to your own specific colors. All right, so where do these guys live? I'll bring up Windows Explorer, and you can see that under Program Files, x86, and then Melco, and then your DesignShop installation folder, there is a colored data folder. I know, I got a lot of DesignShop installations. I'm in charge, or the product owner of DesignShop, and so we're testing a whole lot of stuff. We'll be coming out with some cool stuff here in a little bit. Okay, so color data is the folder, and you can see that here are all the color charts as well as the palettes are in here. Here we can see the default thread palette. So usually after I change this, make it unique, make it mine, I want to save this guy out so that I can load it in my second computer. Maybe I have I do work at the office during the day, and then I have you know, a computer at home. I don't want to have to go through this all again. I can just copy the files from one computer I've done all the work on, and then paste them into the installation of the second computer, and then they're both completely synchronized. The thread palettes are really pretty simple. This is all they are, text files. Basically it's RGB, red, green, blue, right? And these are the values, and it's that way for every single color. This happens to be Coats Rayon. They also have thread names. Some of them do. In this case, Coats does. So that's all really the file is the names of the colors and their RGB values for each chart. Okay, so I would want to take and back that up someplace so I have it in case the computer crashes or I get a new computer, whatever the case may be, or for a second system, or for other DesignShop 11 versions that you have in your business. Maybe you have 5 systems. You can do it once, copy it to the others, and then everybody is completely in sync. So hopefully this helps you with how to make your own defaults, change the defaults, make your own custom thread charts, etc., and have fun and customize it for your business. Hope you enjoyed this, and we'll catch you again next time.